Okay, today what we're going to do is to get this thing trimmed out. Most likely I'll just keep it in this wooden box, but I wanted to cut it back fairly severely so that it's ready to go into a bonsai pot. If I find a nice pot, then I'll put it in, but I'm not sure if I still have any more. Anyway, so I'm going to go through and do a fairly drastic thinning. This is the tail end of March, so it's a good time to do that. So let's get started. This is a Boulevard Cypress. A couple things to remember. If we end up with too much here, end up with this browning, right? So we gotta get light in there. And the other thing about this Boulevard Cypress, their back budding is sparse or spotty. Sometimes they do, but most of the time they don't. So if you keep going and you lose these and only up here, then you're gonna end up with a long branch with nothing in between. So first of all, if we're going to keep all the branches, we want to get it thinned out so that it will not turn brown. So we try to get it as tight as possible, get sunlight in, right? Probably should have been done sooner. I did trim these. Well, I think one of my problems is I like this foliage. It's so kind of soft, inviting. So I tend to leave too much. But this time of the year, it's okay. We could cut it way back and we know it's still gonna come right back. So there's things that I will probably cut back heavier, but I'm just going to go through this whole process and then backtrack and see if we need to keep cutting more. Sometimes you end up cutting too much and then it's hard to put back, right? See all this browning in here? This will get worse if it stays bushy up on top. But now I get sunlight in here, so these should stay nice and healthy. That's true on most things, especially like these junipers and things like that. Okay, like this one here. See, it went way up. There's nothing in between. I'm not sure. Well, we might end up taking this, but I don't know if we're gonna ever get greenery back in here. Boy, am I glad that Ken gave me this table. It goes up and down, so it's so much easier for me to adjust the camera angle for you. Yep, most of this is just busy work. When I get done with this once around, then we'll get down to actually doing some styling. I think there's some extra branches, but basic shape I think is going to stay the same. It's a formal upright, I believe. Yeah, the trunk is fairly straight with taper though. I guess I'm close enough to start to make some design changes. Well, this one here, it looks like it didn't belong. This one is a permanent. This one is not doing anything. So I think I'll cut this whole thing off. This is the back side, I think, or unless it's the front. But we have this branch here that I think it's no longer necessary. I do have a tendency to leave a lot of these lower branches just so that I could get my girth that I want and the taper, right? So I think I'm going to take this one off. That opens it up. Now, we were talking about this guy here with nothing in between. And I think that chance of it, if leafing out here, is slim. Besides, there's a branch on this side that's fairly close, so I think I'm going to take that off too. That's one of those, do not let it get to this state, then being a wise cut. That was just not going to do much more. Okay, we got a situation here. Okay, we got a situation here. Too many things going up. But I see new down here, so that should be okay. I don't know whether you could see it or not, but you could see a little bit of green there. If you take these brown off and there's nothing there, then you got a problem on your hand. But that one looks okay. So we'll tighten these up. I don't like this angle, but I'm going to let it go for now. So not everything going to get done at the same time, right? So this one should be cut off. Same situation here. See this long run, but I think we have enough things to kind of fake it. But that would have been better if I had taken care of it sooner by getting sunlight in here. So if we have to, we'll let this grow and then you pull down on it. There's extra branches in here, but it's okay. I've got it opened up so the sunlight will get in and re-trigger the growth down in here. Kind of the same situation up on top. Oh, maybe this one might be too big. There's another one up here, so I got the feeling I'm going to take this off. Okay, got this area that needs to be trimmed. I'm kind of looking up here to see if there's a way to keep this shorter than it actually is. Instead of being here, I wonder if I should cut it down to here and make the apex like this. Or take off like this and make that the apex. Well, actually, this is not bad here. Well, you know, we could make it taller and taller, but it just gets heavier and heavier. So, let me contemplate. I realized that this front was not aligned to the box, but right now we're looking at the front. So do I take it off here? Or do I take it off here? Well, I guess we should always go with the minimum damage. So I'll cut it off here. And then, do I do that? No, it's not bad. I guess I could just cut these back and then use that as an apex. Now, it looks a little thin, but you know, you got to remember these are top growers. So you got to remember that these are top growers, so this will take off in a hurry. So I'll be doing something like this. And then let it grow back, and then we'll cut some more. Yeah, some of these cuts could be made cleaner, but I purposely kind of kept both of this because I might end up doing this later this year. But I think the way it's going, it looks pretty good. So we'll just kind of let this apex go for now. And I think because I cut off enough stuff, we should be okay. We'll get a few weak spots where I should have cut back sooner, but other than that, we're, I think, in pretty good shape. So anyway, I'm gonna finish pulling the weeds, feed, and put it back. Well, as I wrap this up, look how much is on the ground now. Versus, now I got a nice opened up tree. You could see where there's a problem to our right. You see that one branch that's sticking up? Well, that one I can't make it shorter because there's nothing in between. So those are the pitfalls of not being diligent throughout its process. So anyway, I'm gonna finish pulling the weeds, feed it, and put it back out. Okay, so this has been, well, let's call this number 2 of the Boulevard Cypress in a box. Because there's another one standing by. That one will be number 3.